It's impossible to go on. I have to be destroyed either by another beast or at the hands of a woman who loves me enough to kill me using a silver bullet. She must put that bullet through my heart.
That woman exists, I want you to know. I would die for you.
Everything is ready, my darling. Do not be afraid. And we'll be together again.
L-O-L-I-P-O-P spells lollipop.
This sandwich tastes as dry as hell.
You're not just a funny guy. You're a lame brain, too.
This is all the whiskey you possess?
You should believe in ghosts, pea-brain.
He's a closet! He's a closet! He's a closet!
Go.
Go!
Go. Oh, wait,
Glug,
what is
glug,
that from?
glug.
Oh, I'm thinking of the Strokes now. What the fuck?
No, you're thinking of the movie Go! Exclamation point.
Still never seen that.
Yeah, me neither.
Hey! So we have so much in common.
Yeah, true. Why don't we get married?
Wait, are you talking about Muriel's wedding?
Muriel?
Muriel's wedding?
Muriel? I'm just going to keep saying Muriel.
Muriel? Hello and welcome to Hello, This is the Doom Show. I am Heliotropes. I am joined once again by Chemitrodes. Hello, Chemitrodes.
Howdy.
JK, LOL, or as I like to say, LOL out loud. Jeffrey's here and I'm Richard.
You know, during the opening credits of this movie, I saw listed the Jefe de Production, and that's me.
The Jeffy! Folks, this is quite a, I almost said suspicious, but I guess it's an auspicious episode of Hello, This is the Doom Show. We're talking about Fury of the Wolfman, aka La Furia Dale. La Furia del Hombre Low-Boned. No, La Furia del Hombre Lobo from 1972. It was filmed a few years earlier than that, but we'll get into all the production woes of this film.
Apparently it had an alternate title, The Wolfman Never Sleeps.
Yes.
I like that.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
He does have some narcoleptic moments. Oh, no, wait, that's when he can't stay awake. Forget it. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So, we've never covered a Paul Naschy film on this show in 150 plus episodes. And it's not because we don't love him. We have referred to him many times. We've never sat down and covered a film by him. And I can explain. I have reasons.
Well, he's uncoverable. That chest must always be exposed.
I'm just ripping my shirt open while you said that. Tear, shred.
No.
When Brad and I started the show, a big inspiration for us were our buddies, Rod and Troy over at the Naschycast. And we kind of subconsciously were never going to cover Paul Naschy while they were covering Paul Naschy, just because they were so thorough and so Hello, This is the Doom Show like that we just kind of never did it. And it became a thing that we never talked about. It just happened.
This is fine, because, right, I mean, they're very thorough and informed, and we are
Absolutely.
not. So it'll be totally different.
Hey, everybody can do every movie that every other person has covered, because film podcasts do that. So let's just talk about Jaws.
Okay.
And Psycho real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're going to ruin Paul Naschy forever.
I mean, he kind of did it himself with this one.
Well, I blame Jose Maria Zabalza. J.M. Zabalza.
Do you think he's related to Sebulba, the pod racer? It's a terrible joke. I'm very sorry.
I know he is for a fact. I'm glad you made that joke. I found a great trailer for this. This trailer is awesome. This is just great. I'm going to play it right now. It's perfect.
The Fury of the Wolfman, a strange and mysterious story packed with intrigue and horror. What was the terrible secret that haunted Waldemar Daninsky and that threw him into a world of violence and terror? The Fury of the Wolfman. This is the story of a haunted man, a life bewildered by mystery and horror. And nothing could keep Dr. Ellman away from using even grave tombs for her horrible experiments.
Don't worry. His mind is dominated.
And destiny pushed Professor Daninsky into the lives of monstrous freaks. The mysterious world of the beautiful Dr. Ilona Ellman. A wild battle in a world full of gruesome violence and horror. A world of the lowest passions. This is the story of a man who changed into a wild beast.
There's something strange. What are you going to do now?
I want you to listen carefully to this, Daninsky.
This is the drama of a normal human being. A professor of psychology who got involved into mystery and crime, who was wanted by the police, who could not help changing into a furious animal. Only love could make an end to his torture. Don't miss The Fury of the Wolfman. Action, violence, horror, filmed with more realism than you can imagine. The Fury of the Wolfman, a Maxper film production. Starring Paul Naschy, Perla Cristal, Veronica Lujan, and Michael Rivers. Horror if there ever was.
That was the trailer for Fury of the Wolfman. I don't even know what to say because I remember liking the trailer, but for reals, I don't remember it. And that's good podcasting.
That's great podcasting. A++.
I wrote that the music from this film, because the music kicks in immediately, is a guy named Pedro Librario.
Well, they give a credit to Bach in the opening credits. So thanks, Bach.
Yeah, there's two people credited on IMDb for the music, Bach and his brother Sebastian. No, it's Angel Arteaga and Anna Satrova, and both of these people must have just worked in the archives of a library and just handed them the reels with the music on it, because I don't know, this music does not feel like it was made for anything made the same year this film was made.
Yeah, like the part about midway through the movie where the Twilight Zone theme starts playing for some reason. Yeah, no, I don't think it was made for this movie.
That was my favorite thing. My mom she'd always misremember the theme to the Twilight Zone. She'd be like, "Oh, that's like the Twilight Zone." No. And I'm like, "What are you doing? It's not even close."
She starts doing the Jaws theme or the Psycho theme.
Mom. Mom! It's good stuff. I like that. That's acting. I think that was improv. So this is written by Paul Naschy, Jacinto Molina, and he has said in interviews over the years that this was the biggest failure in his career.
Which is definitely not true. There's some later things that I think are a little bit more shameful.
The 2012 stuff might be a little rough.
Oh, yeah. Not even like thinking about those, though. There's some late ones. What's the one that I thought was quite bad? Or there's one that's very icky. Is it Lycanthropo? Maybe. I can't remember.
A little rapey?
Yeah, I'm looking through his
aren't
list.
there alternate scenes in Crimson that are really gross?
Oh, well, Crimson's, he didn't write that, though, right?
Yeah,
he's just in that one.
That's true.
Yeah. But yeah, he's got some ones a little bit later on. I mean, still kind of enjoy them all just because he's there. But this one is obviously pretty ramshackle. It's actually very early on in the Hombre Lobo Waldemar Daninsky series, right? It's only the third actual film. I guess it's the fourth, but there's this one that like Naschy says exists, but nobody's ever seen it. The Knights of the Wolfman from 1968.
Oh, man, I just... somehow, I want that magical film to just appear out of nowhere.
Yeah. But other than that, it's Mark of the Wolfman and Assignment Terror that came out before this, and just in the 2 years before this one was filmed. And Mark of the Wolfman is pretty solid. That one's got a nice big budget to it, so it looks real good. And it was filmed in 3D, released in 70mm, big deal. Assignment Terror is, kind of also a little ramshackle. It comes together a little bit better.
My cat is throwing up.
Oh, dear.
Hello, Doom Show. Wow, thanks, buddy. It's like, wait, I haven't thrown up today. And I'm like, shut the fuck up.
No, he heard me say Assignment Terror.
Hey, that's a great movie.
It's all right.
I puke inside for that movie. I know. I was just thinking how great it was that there was some footage from that in this one.
There's some Assignment Terror footage because I know there's some Mark of the Wolfman.
Oh, maybe I'm mixing them up.
Yeah,
maybe I'm mixing them up. I like all of these frickin' Daninsky films to the point where they all just bleed together, especially the early ones. I think the only one I don't mix up with the other ones is like the one in Japan.
Beast and the Magic Sword.
Yeah, that's a fun movie. I like that one.
Yeah, they're all fun. But in the same year he makes this one, Fury of the Wolfman, he also makes Werewolf Shadow, which is vampire
classic.
Werewolf versus the Vampire Woman, which is like the apex of the werewolf movies. So it was a very productive year, really. This one just did not come together. I mean, probably, it's mostly due to Jose Maria Sebulba,
who Paul Naschy said was drunk during the production.
This feels like a drunk movie.
It's so, the dubbing alone, like even if this movie hadn't had production woes, then the post-production would have been woeful because, it's just, oh my god, dude. Like, this might be my favorite dubbing from a Spanish horror film. Almost every line is bonkers.
Wait, so you watched in English?
Hell yeah. I have the clothed version, and I have a little bit of nudity version, but they're both the same English dub.
Yeah, no, I watched the Spanish with subtitles. Interesting.
I bet it doesn't look like it was left in the rain for 30 years like my copy.
It looked all right. Not great, but it looked okay.
Is it full frame?
I think it might have. I can't recall.
Yeah. Mine goes into extreme full frame at one point because they wanted to show Ilona's eyes. And they had to squish the screen real squishy to make her eyes not get cut off on the sides. It was really funny. Like when they put the credits in widescreen, so none of the names get cut off, and they immediately go to full frame, and you're like, fuck! Why?
Well, this is one of those 4 titles that's coming from Scorpion, releasing sometime in the next year or so. So there will be a nice copy of this out there in the world soon.
It'd be so funny if they don't put the English dub on there. I'll be fucking pissed. I'll be like, fine, I'm keeping my Cinema Day Bazaar bootleg, you bastards.
I think they will. We'll see.
So this was released blessedly on VHS a few times in the 90s, but I found online, because I wish I collected VHS tapes sometimes. My wife definitely doesn't wish I do that. But I have the Charter Entertainment Fury of the Wolfman VHS tape from 1987. 1901, Avenue of the Stars, Los Angeles, California, 90067. No. I tried to start with the address to the company first, like you do.
Okay.
So the tagline on the front of the VHS is, "Death stalks. Is it a man a wolf or both? Oh, both.
I wish the tagline was the opening lines of the movie in my version, which is something along the lines of like, sometimes when the moon rises, someplace on Earth, a man becomes a wolf.
Holy shit, dude. We're going to have such different takes on this movie. I have a feeling. Does yours talk about the heliotropes?
No heliotropes. I mean, obviously, chemitrodes.
Yeah, it talks about I'll drop in we're going to play the dialogue for the whole movie, and Jeffrey and I are going to go. Because it's just beautiful.
When the heliotrope starts growing among rough rocks, and the full moon shines at night, in a certain area of the earth, a man turns into a wolf.
In my version, there are two mantras. There's chemitrodes.
Yes.
And pentagono.
Yeah, they kept the pentagram. It's pentagram. It's bonkers. So, on the back of the VHS tape, it says, "Power was her religion, and science was her power."
Oogie.
Okay. This sounds like I don't even want to get past the tape. We're never going to talk about the movie. Okay, here's the plot. The silent night shatters with screams of agony, drowned out by the howling of a wolf. Death stalks, bringing with it a terror never before known. Only Professor Daninsky knows. He knows because he has become half-man, half-wolf. He knows because, as the beast, he brutally murdered his unfaithful wife and countless innocent people. Now, one other person knows. The professor's ex-lover and colleague, Ilona Hellman, holds his fate in her cruel hands. For her, it's the scientific opportunity she's been waiting for. Complete mastery over the living dead. Be prepared for an evening of delicious dementia as the fury of the Wolfman unleashes its tempest of terror into your living room. With hair-raising suspense, and spine-tingling tension. It'll make you jump every time your dog barks. It actually says that.
I believe you.
Man, I did some acting there. I went into Howard Cosell for no reason.
I think I'm going to cook up some delicious dementia for dinner.
I hope you use a really good brie on delicious dementia, just melted over the top.
No, stinky cheese all the way.
Well, if you leave brie alone long enough, it'll stink. Starring Paul Naschy, Père Le Cristal. I'm not gonna read that. What am I reading that for? So this was an Avco Embassy pictures release, which is good times because IMDb likes to block all pertinent information without a paid account. I'm gonna tell you what I can, which is not much. But they released Death Smiles at Murder, Hatchet for the Honeymoon, Belle from Hell, Horror Rises from the Tomb, and The Mummy's Revenge, to name a few. So that's probably why those films all have similarly crazy dubbing, possibly.
Yeah. So, I mean, they were probably just buying them, or were they funding them too?
They were dubbing them and releasing them to television.
Right. There you go.
Yeah.
So this movie, I think, presents if you're familiar with Waldemar Daninsky, this presents a different sort of take on him, right? Like, usually Daninsky is just like a brooding hunk who's like cursed being a werewolf, and he's like hanging out in his mansion and people come by and he takes off his shirt. Yes. But in this, he's a little bit more dapper, but also sadder, because he is, as the back of the VHS told us, he's a professor. He's He's a doctor who teaches at like a medical college.
Yes.
Medical school. We'll say that.
In the dubbed version, he teaches neurovegetation.
No way, really?
Dude, you gotta watch the dubbed. It's so good.
Yeah, I guess I do. So, and he's also married in this one, which is unusual. He's very rarely that, because he's got Daninsky's got to sleep around a little bit. So in this one, he's got to do some wife murdering before he can do that.
Oh.
And also, curiously, this one, near the beginning, very confusingly, prefigures the setup for Night of the Howling Beast, where he fights a Yeti.
Yes.
Because in this one, we find out that Daninsky was like flying to Tibet, and the plane crashed or something, and all of his damn friends are buried in the snow. So nice. I guess they got caught in Demons 5 or something.
Oh my god.
And we learn that he's become a cursed man because he was bit by a Yeti. Like, there's no werewolf in this movie until he, I guess being bit by a Yeti turns you into a were-Yeti. He's not even a real werewolf. This is bullshit.
Because isn't that's the same thing as Night of the Howling Beast, right?
No, I don't think so.
Oh. Huh.
Well,
I need to rewatch that.
Yeah, I don't think he's attacked, because he fights the Yeti, but I don't think he's necessarily... Maybe we should look this up. It seems important.
I'm sure the plot will help us. Nope, they transform him, the cannibalistic demon nymphets.
The priestesses, yeah, to fight the Yeti. Yeah.
Oh my god, can you imagine if De Osorio had directed that one? They'd be in the leopard print bikinis, like Night of the Sorcerers.
I mean, it's pretty close. They're not that far off. That's a good one. I mean, so in that one, he's like an adventurer.
Yep.
Yeah, in this one, he's just a boring professor who's being cuckolded or cuckwolfed by his wife.
Oh my God.
His wife is cheating on him with one of his students, by the way. So yeah, Things are going real well for Dapper Daninsky.
I love the actress who plays his wife. Her name is so cool. Pilar Zorilla, or Zorilla, like gorilla. It's amazing.
Zorilla.
She didn't do much, but man, that name is too cool. So he comes back from this misadventure, and his wife is fake happy to see him, and then the full moon comes, and we have him trying not to transform. There's a thunderstorm, and the moon is out also during a thunderstorm, I guess. And he's got his box of Altoids that he got from a shaman from, did they say, I think they say Tibet in this?
Tibet.
Or Tibet. Tibet. So he takes his Altoid and is able to resist the Wolfman transformation for now.
And I love that even though he's like confiding all of this to his wife, he's like, "Yep, wife, I'm definitely a were-Yeti now." His wife's like doesn't really care all that much and is clearly just thinking about her affair.
Yep.
Like,
Pentagon.
In the Spanish, it's not even pentagram; it's like pentagon. It's weird. Anyway. We get some scenes set at the school where he works. We meet Dr. Alona Ellman.
Oh, jeez.
Who is giving a lecture talking about the human zebra.
In the English audio, it's even stranger. It sounds like she's saying the human zebor.
Oh boy.
And I'm like, Zebor. And chemitrodes, whatever. But yeah, the pseudoscience dump.
Yeah.
And consistently dumping over and over. There's so much. This movie has more pseudoscience per pound than almost any other film we've done on this show. It is stretches of just gobbledygook talking is so...
I mean, it's clear that what she wants... Well, all right, I take it back. Not super clear. You can sort of parse out that she's into, like, genetic engineering, and she has some sort of, like, eugenics plan in mind.
Oh, boy.
That's what she says, at least. Like, that's what she projects to the world. In private, it's all about mind control, because, why not? If you're a mad doctor, why not?
All that's been explained leads to one conclusion.
It's possible to create a human Zebor by using waves of a determined frequency on the brain. Then it will be possible to vary the genotype of an individual to create a being in the laboratory. In that case, its reactions could be controlled.
Is it possible? Really? Can we go that far?
Now, humanity could profit greatly by that, and then would be able to cure brains damaged by insanity, control all emotion. In one word, resolve all the unknown concerning man. That is all. Miss Karen here, my assistant, is at your disposal. Now she will take notes of any doubts you might have. See you Monday.
This is Perla Cristal, who plays Ilona. She was in some real humdingers, y'all. She was in frickin' Emma Puertas Oscuras, which recently picked that up, and it's a lot of fun. Typical Jose Ramon Larraz goodness. Got The Corruption of Chris Miller, which needs a frickin' Blu-ray that I hope is coming out. I have no idea. Highly recommend folks check out The Corruption of Chris Miller. Nice Spanish giallo.
And she's in the awful Dr. Orloff, of course.
Yes, and my favorite Orloff film, The Mistresses of Dr. Jekyll, which
one's that?
That is the quasi-sequel to Awful Dr. Orloff. What's the other title? It's got a weird... Dr. Orloff's Monster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's like my favorite Orloff movie.
That's a fun one.
Yes, next to the 20 films that Jess Franco did where Dr. Orloff just showed up.
Yeah. Or the other ones where he's not named Orloff, but it's pretty much Orloff, yeah.
But yeah, Perla Cristal, very striking actress. Very fun. Always fun in these movies.
Yeah, she's good in this. I mean, she's playing a real sadistic mad scientist. She's got her chemitrodes, but she's also got some whips and chains. She's a fun one. We also have her assistant Karen.
Oh, Karen,
who's played by Veronica Lujan?
That sounds good.
Lujan?
I always guess because these people haven't talked to me in years. No, this actress, she is cute as a button. What the hell, dude? I think she's very cute.
Her entire case, she's, I think, the least developed of any of the, Daninsky girlfriends in any of these movies. And she's very, she expresses some real hesitation towards everything her mentor, Dr. Ilona, is saying. She's like, wow, this sounds a lot like eugenics. Wow, why are we, chaining people to walls? But somebody just, reassures her, just says, oh, no, it's fine. Don't worry. We're just helping humanity. And she's like, all right, I guess so.
You can chain people to your walls, and you can dig up a dead Wolfman, but don't keep hippies in your cellar. That's all I'm saying.
Don't keep dad's hippies in your cellar.
Oh, my God. One thing I don't want to let go by is, or let slip through our Wolfian fingers, is the dialogue in the English dub. I'm sure it isn't that far removed from the Spanish. Is what young children think lovers talk about between Waldemar Daninsky's wife and her lover, where they sound like they're 12. It's just so funny how, speaking of underdeveloped characters, this is like soap opera, but soap opera made by aliens. So good.
Yeah, you should insert some here. So
I am. Oh, I totally
hear what you're talking about.
It's just not good.
It had to be like that. We couldn't just see each other 3 times a week. The nights when your husband had his classes at the university.
Stop torturing yourself. I only wish that storm that ruined the expedition would have killed him and left us both free.
He was the only one left alive. We can't continue talking about the past.
And now?
Now the only thing we have to do is be together. We must never separate.
And if something happens?
Don't you worry. It's impossible.
There are 2 other prominent characters in the movie. I don't really remember their names. Well, I guess I'm looking at Wikipedia, so this will help. There's the detective, Detective Wilhelm Kaufman.
Yes.
Who is Well, he is trying to figure it all out. Well, I guess he's not really in the movie yet, so maybe we'll hold off on him because he's introduced for a reason. But then there's also Karen's fiance, I guess.
Yep.
Who is a journalist who will also work with the detective later on to like solve everything. Karen won't get married to him until she has her doctorate. So she's very career-minded, which is the most interesting thing about her. So the inciting incident of this movie is not, as you would expect, the fact that Dapper Daninsky is a werewolf, but instead that he receives a note in his car one day alleging that his wife is being unfaithful to him with a student of his. And this is very, very upsetting, especially because it's one of his students. His wife likes him young and hairless, and that's just not Daninsky anymore. He like then drives home and then he like crashes his car, right?
Yep. Because they fiddled with his brakes.
Yeah. Why? They fiddled with his brakes. I forgot.
Yes.
So, he turns for help to Dr. Ellman, who is his long ago lover, apparently.
Yeah.
And she says, "Hey, don't worry. I'll solve your marriage issues by operating on your brain." And he's like, "Okay, cool." It's unclear if that actually happens or not. Because like in the next bunch of scenes, we're with Waldemar as he goes back home to meet with his wife on a dark and stormy night. And he's got something cooked up for her. He tells her, quote, "I'll love you like I never have before."
Ooh.
And then we get a smash cut to them both lying on their backs in bed, fully clothed, staring at the ceiling, which is very funny to me after that line delivery. But you very quickly realize they're lying like that because he has to lie like that because we're getting a werewolf dissolve.
Oh.
Yes, that's right. Waldemar has decided to murder his wife by turning into a werewolf in bed with her. But you know what? You gotta say one thing for him. This is the first time in their 10 years of marriage that he's finally eaten her out.
Oh, check please. What the fuck? I was not expecting you to say something like that. And I'm glad you did.
It's a quality werewolf humor.
Why did you scream? It's me. You weren't expecting me, were you? Well, I've come back to you. And tonight our love will be stronger than ever. Erica, you're mine. Why can't you realize it? For you I'd die 1,000,000 times just so that you'd love me.
One thing about Waldemar Daninsky in this film is that he likes to just taste people's necks.
Yeah.
Whereas in other films, he just rips this huge chunk and he's got chunks. This time they couldn't afford such extravagancies. I don't know. And he's just kind of tasting their neck and spitting a little blood on them. It might be his own blood he's leaving on their neck.
He's a real Goldilocks, this guy. Goldilocks Daninsky.
This one's too long. This one's too hairy. I don't know. I don't know about
stringy.
Ugh. I don't know about necks.
So here's the thing about this Daninsky. Not only is he like shitty at eating people, but he's also just shitty at like existing. Like he after killing his wife and then killing the lover who's also there at the house, he just runs out into the middle of the storm. He's just like stumbling around drunkenly, and he gets into a fight with a power transformer, and he fucking loses. Yes. He gets electrified.
Dude, what is so... this scene. Everything. Everything in this movie is everything.
And they're all reported dead in the newspaper the next day, which is hilarious. It would be very funny if the movie just ended there or like moved on to different things. It does not, though.
No, thank God. But I do like your alternate universe where the movie's 15 minutes long.
Well, we find out that, the movie will continue because he's in fact not dead. Because we get this scene with voiceover of Elmin journaling, where she notes that the Tibetan scroll clearly states that a werewolf or a were-yeti can only be killed from certain ways, and electrocution just ain't one of them. Yes. So she goes grave digging for Waldemar. And finds him, and she tells her little minion who's digging him out, "Don't worry, I've got him mind controlled, so he can't harm you. It's those chemitrodes."
This is even weirder in the English dub because she's just like, out of nowhere, he's under my complete control. And it's a great scene in any other movie, but in this movie, and this is very silly, where the gravediggers are digging him out and digging him out and digging him out, and Daninsky just grabs one of the gravediggers by the frickin' arm, and that's when she spouts the immortal line, "He's under my complete control." Or whatever the fuck she says. It's so weird. She doesn't explain what she's doing or how she's doing it, but Jeffrey, she's putting the whammy on him.
Oh, yeah. More whammies.
Whammy sound effect, TBD.
No whammy. So she carts him and Karen and other people off to Castle Wolfstein.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because she's actually Eva Wolfstein, daughter
Spoiler!
of Helmut Wolfstein. Okay, Jeffrey, is it just me or does the movie take a turn right here? I mean, obviously we had the big ending with him getting electrocuted, but I feel like the movie just takes a bazonkers turn right at this moment and never goes back to semi-normal. I'm going to say normblance. Is that a word?
I would agree with you. Because once they get to Castle Wolfstein, I don't know what exactly is going on. Like, her plan is to make mutants, I think?
Yes.
She says that she wants to make mutants that are neither vegetable nor mineral. I don't know what the hell she's talking about. And some of the other people there, like her other nurses, are like, "What are we doing?" In
the English dub, one of the nurses, they're trying to make authentical mutants. I'm dropping all the convo in there. It's so great.
I heard some screaming.
You know you can't come in here.
But really, what is the doctor trying to do?
She just works for science.
And what about those human beings?
This is just the first step.
Don't continue.
To be a student of the doctor, you need more guts. You see, nature is all. The earth, moon, air, the sun.
Yes, but also darkness and destruction.
You say that. Then there is nothing.
Yes, but you don't understand. Everything that's been going on around here is much more like witchery, and I don't see anything scientific about human beings suffering. What can that be?
Well, isn't this scientific? They're neither animals nor plants. For now. But after the doctor's preliminary phase, they'll be authentical mutants. And always they'll live in darkness.
No, I don't want to go on listening to this. This can't be scientific. I don't want to...
There are two things in this movie that are they're both dropped and not dropped, because they give them just enough to where you remember them. There's the scarred face guy, who I think is Helmut.
Yeah, that's the dad. Yeah,
he's
the
got
Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, the Phantom of the Opera is in this movie. And there's living plants that grab people.
Oh, wow. I somehow missed that.
There's a girl. It looks like a hook is going to grab her by the throat.
I thought it was a hook.
That's like a plant.
Oh, wow.
I think it's supposed to be like
yeah, sure doesn't look like one.
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah, no, because she's like protesting. She's like, I think this is a bad idea. I want to leave. And then this like sentient hook from above, kind of like the noose in Runaway Nightmare, like comes down and attacks her. But we don't actually see it. It just like touches her neck a little bit and then we cut away.
She screams. It's beautiful.
Wow, that makes sense if it's a plant. Well, no, it doesn't, but I mean, I get it. Then we see what Waldemar's been up to. We get a scene of Alona wearing her nightgown and whipping the werewolf Waldemar as he's chained to the wall.
While
and
she's putting the whammy on him.
Yeah, this is definitely somebody's kink. I don't know whose. Maybe it's Paul Naschy's kink, but yeah.
Absolutely, it's him. This is a very dark phase. That's why this movie is so upsetting for him. He put too much into it.
This one does seem to be the most... All right, I don't want to say this is his most personal movie. But I would say that this one is like definitely dealing with some Daninsky insecurities that the other ones don't really deal with. Because again, he's always like a hunk and a stud. And in this one, he's like horny, but probably impotent. Cause he's always just attacking women in bed.
Yeah.
He's, being cuckolded by his wife. He never consummates the relationship with Karen, right? No, cause she has a fiance, right? I mean, she's spoken for, I guess she does say that she loves him at one point.
See, I had an idea for a screenplay where there was a guy who was straight, but then when he turned into a werewolf, he was a gay werewolf. And that's where my band Gyrojets got the song Gay Werewolves, which is our LGBTQ friendly song.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, what I meant to say was when he turns into a werewolf, that's when he can achieve an erection, because that's when Alona can love him.
Well, the thing is, when he's a werewolf, that's when he's mindless and controlled by this much more powerful woman. So this is like a castration, just like Runaway Nightmare. It's kind of a castration nightmare. Which is
what you want. We want to be castrated.
Yeah.
Okay. We get to meet the mutants in the basement somewhere around here. We've got a little person and a person of diminutive stature, and there's just a bunch of hippies,
yes,
which are truly.
Excuse me, they're disgusting hippies.
They're the dregs of society. I wrote in my notes, I don't know if this is a line in the movie or if this is something I wrote down. I wrote down, libertines are very changeable. I don't remember where I got that, but I was talking about the hippies in the basement because they just go with whatever's going, hey, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, near the end when they're set free, they're like, yeah, we're against Alona now. So, yeah, they are the experiments. I mean, presumably they were originally the experiments of Phantom of the Opera Dad, but now they are Alona's experiments. And, yeah, they're just kind of going with the flow, being dirty.
Yep. Oh, Alona likes to leave Daninsky alone in the castle with all the hippies and Karen, but that's okay. She can leave him there because it's hermetically sealed. And I said, no. No, it's not.
Nope.
Stop saying that.
Well, it just wants... Okay. This movie wants to get every little bit of science wrong. Like, I feel like that's a goal that Naschy started off with. Like, yeah, I'm going to be anti-science in this one. So Karen, seeing what's happening to Daninsky, seeing all the mutants, she's like, no, this isn't too cool. She tries to talk to Elman, and it doesn't really pan out. Again, she can't really assert herself, and Elman's very forceful. Elman reveals her motive, kind of. She says that, quote, humanity is mistaken, and it's necessary to correct it. So she just wants to control everybody's minds because she is right and they are wrong. And she tells Karen, you're very young and don't understand these things. Which is true of anyone watching this movie, actually.
Yeah. I really like my notes that say, the doll wise to my darling.
I literally, isn't it?
It really says, the doll wise to marry Diana. This is good. This is helpful.
Okay.
Fuck. Let's talk about the detective, because in the English version, him and Meryl, the fiance, I think that's Meryl, the two of them have some verbal sparring that's friggin' hilarious. The detective is played by Miguel de la Riva, and this guy was in a lot of stuff. And he was in a fun movie called Murder by Music aka the Trumpets of the Apocalypse, which I recommend. Not a strong recommend, but it's a fun one. It's directed by Julio Bukes and has a very, very cute Mary Lou Tolo and a very, very cute Brett Halsey.
Oh, Brett.
Oh, he's so cute. Yeah, this guy is so fun, and he gets to say all the stupid shit about the case, like chemitrodes.
Mm-hmm.
And he, the voice actor doing him, he nails it, or he nails it. I'm not sure, but it's great. All of his talking is just magical.
Mm-hmm.
And Meryl, it's Jose Marco. He was a very prolific actor in Spain. And I'm scrolling. I see some war movies and some frickin' spaghetti westerns like you do.
Mm-hmm.
What about genre? I mean, everything you did was genre movies. But what's horror? Thrill? Oh, dude. Horror Express?
Well, everybody was in Horror Express, so...
Werewolf Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Jekyll versus the Wolfman.
All right, he's a regular.
And something that sounds very familiar called The Vampire of the Autopsy? What? What is Autopista? Is that autopsy? No, that can't be right. It's autopsia. What is this?
Google Translate. Trademarked product. Google Translate.
Freeway. The Vampire of the Freeway?
Yeah, I can't say I know that one.
Sounds great. The Horrible Sexy Vampire. That's the title I've heard.
He's in Knife of Ice, too.
Yeah. Oh, wait, did you say Knife of Ice 2?
No.
There was a sequel?
As well.
As well?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. No, so these guys, they're going to solve this case. Of course, the detective's like, stay away from this because it's dangerous. I'm a detective. And the guy's like, you're fucked. Why shouldn't I help you?
Yep. And then it turns out it's best to work together because they solve the case by working together. So it's a movie about teamwork and castration.
Yep.
Do you have any authorization to be on this property?
Look, I'm a reporter.
I know that.
Well, then?
That is no justification for breaking and entering. Mind you, I have to see some kind of authorization. Being involved in a case of this nature is something that should only concern the police.
There's some papers that I'm looking for.
Did you find them?
You know that I didn't.
What about the library? Nothing there?
What's that suggest?
That you have been in the library. That you have asked for anything having to do with chemitrodes. That you were interested in all studies by Dr. Helmut Wolfstein.
That's not any crime.
No? I also know that you've been studying up on the legends of Tibet.
And the professor came back from an expedition in Tibet.
I think you should stay out of all this.
Sorry, it's part of my job.
And also mine.
Things get a little crazy when the Phantom of the Opera battles Waldemar. And that's the big reveal, dun dun dun, not really, that the dad is, that's her dad. This Phantom of the Opera guy was her horribly scarred father who's been alive for hundreds of years. I don't know.
Yeah. So, the journalist finds this out, that Ilona is actually Eva Wolfstein. Her father was a mad scientist who, after being exposed, set his house on fire.
Yes.
And apparently burned to death with all of his experiments, although obviously he just got burned but did not die. Also, apparently it was a different house than the old Wolfstein homestead, because they're there and it's not burnt. Also, it's stone. I don't think it's going to burn that well. So we got that little tussle between him and Waldemar is pretty weak, as are most of the conflicts in this one. Also weak is the movie trying to make Waldemar the tragic hero, the romantic hero here.
Yes.
Especially because, this is a man who deliberately wolfed out on his wife in the first 20 minutes.
Right.
Because he was insecure. This is not a very heroic person. Now it does revise later on, right? We learn that, both his wife and the lover and Waldemar, they were all under mind control the entire time. Those damn chemitrodes.
Damn it.
But we don't know that at this point. So
No.
it's tough for us to like Waldemar. It's even weirder that Karen likes him.
I have a thing here. I in my notes have a thing. I swear to God. So, does your version have nudity?
I can't remember.
Okay. My version does.
Who's naked?
Waldemar and Karen. In my notes, I have Karen and Waldemar - sex break. I think in the naughty, not clothed version, they actually have a scene together.
Interesting.
So maybe
I don't think that's in the version that I saw.
I think she uncastrated him.
Well, there you go. That's how he gets his mind back, gets his little pup back.
She taped it back on. Man.
It's his Bigfoot. He's got his Bigfoot back, baby.
I was trying to make a Yeti joke, but I couldn't think of any sexy Yeti jokes. I guess that's all I have to say. Sexy Yeti.
Sexy Yeti? Okay, that's it.
Oh, our old favorite character shows up from all of these movies, Dea Fernida.
Got a lot of work back then, a lot of work.
And then, of course, the Twilight Zone theme just starts playing randomly in the movie.
Yep.
Because there are no consequences for your actions.
No.
You can do whatever you want.
Zero.
I guess Pedro Librario just does whatever he wants.
Keatsburg, the 26th of April, 1967. Walterman has finally made a definite decision to marry Erica Wilson. Nothing I said could change his mind, even reminding him of the marvelous love we had for 3 years. The 8th of October. Progress is going slowly but firmly. I can already control the cerebral cortex and occasionally the hypothalamus of Erica Elmer. Very soon I'll do the same thing with the inferior side of the hypothalamus. Also, I have found the ideal person for the rest of my plans. It's a student, Neville Yates, and soon I'll bring out between Erica and Neville an uncontrollable love that will end in adultery. 3rd of March, 1968. Everything is going as I expected. The waves of the transmitter directs to perfection the minds of Neville and Erica. Now it's possible for me to totally control the emotions of both. The chemitrodes have been an absolute success. The experiences that my father started in Violin are now reality. I have confirmed his incredible theory. 3rd of November, 1970. Something extraordinary has happened. Walterman has just revealed to me something incredible. He thinks he's been cursed by a werewolf. I will make a reality out of this. He will kill his wife and then commit suicide.
I do think the climax of the film is pretty fun.
Yes.
We have this scene where Alona there's this one shot that's amazing where Alona sneaks up on Karen and captures her, where she just like very quickly steps into frame. It made me laugh pretty hard. And by capturing her, Alona forces Waldemar, the newly invigorated Waldemar, to surrender himself, where he's once again chained to a wall. And then Alona does something that's pretty badass. She reveals his dead wife to him, also chained up, because, you know, shitty Waldemar, just tasting her, did not successfully kill her. All he did was pass his damn Yeti curse onto her.
Nice.
So it's time for our werewolf on werewolf brawl, and finally, we've been waiting for it a long time. We get the werewolf woman we've been waiting for. There she is.
Why?
Although, actually, she's not. She's a were-yeti again. God damn it. We're never going to get a werewolf woman.
One day, when we cover Howling 2, my sister is a werewolf.
Yeah, then we'll get it.
Or is it your sister?
But we won't get it if we watch 3. They're just marsupials. So, God damn it. There's just no... Where are all the werewolf women in film?
I've got the curse of the marsupial. You poor thing. You're going to have a little pouch with a baby in it. Gosh darn it. That's all I know about marsupials.
So we got this lovers' quarrel. The lovers, who have no good reason to fight each other. I mean, though he did try to kill her, I mean, we now know it was all a mind-controlled ruse. But they fight anyway. Yeah.
Wasn't that the V.C. Andrews thing? The flowers in the attic, those kids just had chemotrodes? Chemotrodes?
That's what's sprinkled on the cookies?
They had heliotropes, which are actually really bad for you. So don't eat the heliotropes, kids. Man.
Yeah, I don't know what you were going for with that one.
Shut up.
I like flowers.
I was talking to myself right there, not you. I was telling myself to shut up. Shut up, Richard.
So Alona tries to use the mind control one last time to get Waldemar Werewolf to kill Erica. Wait, no. Not Erica.
Karen.
Where did I get Erica from?
Erica's his wife.
Oh. Yeah, but he already killed her. Or she's like knocked out or something.
She's taken a chemitrode break.
But it doesn't work, he's now strong enough to resist the chemitrode. So he chases Alona up a staircase and pushes her through a railing. She falls down, which I think is the same way that her dad dies, right?
Ironic.
Yeah, a lot of pushing Waldemar does in this movie.
That's what werewolves are known for.
But she like crawls over to a cabinet, gets a gun out, and then shoots Waldemar twice. And, shocker, it kills him. Because you know what? It shouldn't, except if it's been established earlier in that Tibetan scroll, if a were-yeti is shot by someone who loves him and would die for him, he will in fact die. The curse will be lifted. So, tragically, we learn that Alona, in her weird, fucked up, sadistic way, loved him after all.
Yep. That's the same plot as The Secretary.
It's just Secretary. It's not The Secretary.
I'm pretty sure it's El Secretario, because James Spader was the secretary.
No, he wasn't.
I know. Thank you. You walked right into that. I do that to Liette all the time. I act like I don't know the most basic thing about the movie. She explains it. Then she gets mad at me.
I love when people add definite articles to movie titles, and I love correcting them and saying, it's not called that.
Wasn't it That Secretary? This Secretary. Or no, it was I'm the Secretary.
I love the Jaws.
Like, the hearse. What the hell, dude? It's just hearse.
Excuse me, this is Fury of the Wolfman, not The Fury of the Wolfman.
Oh, the VHS tapes have a different story.
Finally, before we get out of this scene, we do get a lovely shot of Erica, who is rotting.
Ooh, it's so good.
Yeah. Because the curse is lifted from her, too, because I guess her maker is dead, so she's dead now, too. Great.
She was completely under her control. Dude, this crazy movie.
Yeah, the movie acknowledges kind of how crazy it is right at the very end when the detective and Meryl show up at Castle Wolfstein. A little too late. Everything's already over. And I can't remember who says it. I think it's the detective. He says, quote, not even a fevered mind could conceive of half of the horrors we've seen here. Too fucking true.
Dude, it's so good.
And then he says, like, let's forget those disgusting hippies. In fact, let's forget all of this. It's a splendid day outside.
I'm glad this place is hermetically sealed. Trapped in that hippie stink.
And they just leave. All the dead bodies are there. They just walk out into the nice, pleasant day.
That's perfect.
Nice. The score gets very, whimsical.
Man.
Please, let's try to forget about it so Karen can too.
Look, what a beautiful day it is.
One thing that we didn't talk about, which was, maybe you mentioned it earlier, that one of the things that was so upsetting to Paul Naschy, aside from the distribution problems they had getting this release like 3 years later after they made it, because the film was so short, they had to film some padding sequences. Mm-hmm. So they hired an actor, presumably. I presume he was an actor. To put in some werewolf-esque makeup and have him wander around so they can get some extra shots. And these totally offended Paul Naschy because this guy does not look like him. The makeup does not look like the standard awesome Paul Naschy makeup. And, to top it all off, the guy didn't even move. The guy just kind of shuffle-walked through the streets. And I could never tell before that I was like, I don't know which scenes are those. This time, oh my god, I can spot it because they're so half-assed.
Is it when he escapes from Castle Wolfstein for a little while?
Yeah.
I think it's like the connective tissue that makes the Mark of the Wolfman scenes fit, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And it's just really, I mean, obviously, this kind of crap happens with low-budget movies, but this was just funny because the guy's like, go over here? All right, go over here. I'll go over here. Do I go over here? I'll go over here. You know, like that's exactly what I imagined the direction of the scenes going.
Yeah. The bits of stolen footage from Mark of the Wolfman are very bizarre. One, because, I mean, the major sequence they take is when he attacks these peasants in their like cabin, which is so bizarre because this is set in, 1970. Like, it's very modern. But then all of a sudden there's like these period setting peasants who are being ripped to shreds. And much more successfully, because that movie had a gore budget, which this one obviously did not. So yeah, awkward, poorly assembled. But despite all that, how did you like this movie, Richard?
I love Fury of the Wolfman. It's never dull. Never, ever, ever dull. It's so stupid. Every line of dialogue in the English dub is priceless. I can't even praise that stuff enough. As for a Daninsky film, it's piss poor. That doesn't make me love it any less, because there's so many freaking great Daninsky movies that you can choose from. I just realized I've been mixing up scenes from Mark of the Wolfman with, Frankenstein's Terror? What is it? Assignment Terror. It also has a Frankenstein title somewhere out there. I've been mixing up those movies, though. If I watch them back to back, I'd be like, how did I get those mixed up? I get the footage taken from the other movies slapped in another movie mixed up, so don't rip me apart, Wolfies. That's the name of Paul Naschy's fans, Wolfies. Oh.
They could just be the Daninskys.
That's true. Sure, okay. Whatever. Wolfies is so much better.
They should be the Chemitroids.
I recommend this to people who would love to watch something fucking dumb. I don't really recommend this as like a jumping off point for Daninsky because this is not really a bread and butter title. I definitely start with Werewolf Shadow, and then once you've watched a bunch of his other Daninsky ones, come back for this one and just see how different it is and how ridiculous, how castrati it is. Thanks, Jeffrey. How do you like this one?
This is only the second time I'd seen it. I watched it once before in my Naschy-thon, which, I watched it in the middle of like 12 Naschy movies.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And I really disliked it then because I was watching all these others that were a lot better. So by comparison, it really did not, do so well. This time watching it isolated, I liked it a lot more, or I enjoyed it a lot more. And I did like parts of it. It's so bonkers. This script here, this Naschy script is pretty great. It's mixing in a whole lot of bizarre elements. Obviously, the pseudoscience is out of control, as we've noted. It's very ambitious. The film itself does not live up to that ambition at all. It's a shame, actually, because you wonder how much more successful it might have been had it been directed by one of his mainstays like Klimovsky or Allred. It would have been, I think, a much better film. As is, though, I do appreciate the piss poor qualities of it. I think the strengths of the script do sort of shine through. Oh, the relative strengths, I guess we'll say. And I like how different it is, because it is very, very different from the rest, which at times, even though they're all kind of distinct, sometimes they can kind of be a little nondescript, like Cough Cough Curse of the Devil is very, very boring to me. This one is certainly not boring. I think I said that in my original review of it. That is not true. It's very lightning paced, so much bizarre shit. Like, if you just to have a Phantom of the Opera figure and just kind of toss him off, like he's just there for a scene. That's a sign of a movie that's got some shit going on. And I appreciate that. Yeah, this went way up in my estimation, even though it's admittedly still quite lousy. It's weird how that works, but this is one I will be returning to.
Oh yeah, and return to it for the frickin' English dub. You won't be disappointed.
For sure.
Man, I need to frickin' rewatch Mark of the Damn Wolfman. Jeez.
That one has some really good like outfits that Naschy wears in it. I think he wears something that has like a very frilly collar. It's very cool.
Well, Assignment Terror, doesn't he have the Jester costume? Like I think we're introduced to him in the Jester costume.
No, that's Mark of the.
What the fuck is Assignment Terror?
Assignment Terror is the one with all the different monsters and aliens.
Okay, and that's not the same movie as Mark of the Wolfman.
No, I mean Assignment Terror is like barely a Daninsky film.
Help!
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm getting there. One day, I had a movie-thon. I had the Video Naschy, the movie-thon. It was let's see, 22 pages of untyped notes. Coming soon to the Doomed Movie-thon book. 22 pages of untyped notes. I'm just going to include them. I'm going to photocopy them and send them to people.
Well, these
I'll type them up.
These 3 Naschy films plus Vengeance of the Mummy are the ones that are coming out via Scorpion releasing sometime soon. So you'll have the chance to revisit them all.
Vengeance of the Mummy, I think is that a Naschy fan favorite?
I really like that one actually.
It's so strange. I love it. I mean, it's more like a Hammer film, I feel.
Yeah, except like it's got the most badass mummy. Like he's just like crushing shit.
Dude,
it's cool.
Yeah, he crushes some heads. Man. He's not castrated.
Nope. He's shriveled, but not castrated.
You know what's so pathetic? I still have all of my bootlegs and I have all of my various Naschy discs from all these different companies. And I still have not picked up the Blu-ray sets.
Oh my god, you gotta do that.
I just cheaped out. I was like, oh, it's like $50. Oh.
Yeah, but
damn.
Worth it.
They're probably cheaper now anyway.
And plus, think about it. You get like 5 movies. Each one's like $10.
They're on my wish list, so people, do it.
Fans of the show, come on, buy me some movies.
Well, Jeffrey, thank you for, we've now broken the seal on the Naschy, and now that the Naschy floodgates are open.
I mean, don't thank me. I mean, you just used chemitrodes to control my every action during this podcast, so it's not like I had to say.
I was smoking some heliotropes. No, I'm hoping that our coverage of this film will get us condemned by the Naschycast, and they'll have an injunction of us to stop talking about Paul Naschy.
We'll never be allowed to talk about Assignment Terror again.
Oh, I will. Good night, folks.
1 minute of liberty is worth it all. Long live liberty! You bet. Speak up! A man. A hand. To work. Liberty. Freedom!
Hello, This is the Doom Show is a proud member of the Legion Podcast Network. Please check out the other shows at legionpodcasts.com. If you want more of Hello, This is the Doom Show, check out doomedmoviethon.com or hellodoomedshow.podomatic.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at doomedmoviethon or email the show doomedmoviethon@gmail.com. We're also in the air. Look up.
Hey, did you guys ever notice that podcasts talk about the same movies over and over again?
Yeah, as much as I love Friday the 13th, I don't need another show telling me how good it is.
Exactly. Same thing goes for Halloween. It's a great movie, but come on, there's other stuff out there.
There should be a show that highlights movies that everyone else seems to skip over. Like...
Oh, I always wanted to talk about Absentia.
And I want someone to cover the room.
The Skeleton Key's a good one.
Then let's just do one. We can call it The ABCs of Hidden Horror. And we'll go through the alphabet talking about our favorite horror flicks that get ignored.
Great idea. I know what my first one's gonna be.
Join Brian, Dave, and me, Jamie, for the ABCs of Hidden Horror on the Horrorphilia Network, where we might discuss some of your neglected favorites, or introduce you to something new.
My life fades. The vision dims. All that remains are memories. I remember a time of chaos, ruined dreams, wasted land. But most of all, I remember the podcasts. The man we called Witch. To understand who he was, you have to go back to another time. A time when the doomsday clock ticked ever closer to Armageddon. You can still find The Witch versus the Doomsday Clock podcast by searching for WYCH on Apple Podcast, Stitcher, SoundCloud, TuneIn, and on your Android device. Memories may decline, but movies live forever.
Hey, Paul, what I was thinking is that we need to cut a promo.
Yeah, I've been working on some ideas. It's just, I don't really know where to go with it exactly. What if I got like a filter where we could just kind of talk normally and we can have kind of a script, but then I can like filter it so that one of us will have one kind of voice and then one will have the other.
I want to put my request, make me as Freddy Krueger. Can you do that?
Maybe instead of the voices, what if we tried to like write a skit, develop a whole thing, and we have a backstory, but I don't know, that might be kind of too long. So
like screeching cars and explosions and fireworks and
yeah. Well, what about
I like it.
Maybe instead of doing a filter, we could just like reach out to Robert Englund himself, and maybe he can just record a promo for us sometime. Do you think? I mean, we might have to like raise some money.
We can do a Kickstarter, and we could just throw it out to like Robert Englund and just all kinds of actors, and I think people will do that.
I think.
Sure, why not?
Well, you know what? I don't know. Maybe we're overthinking this whole thing. How about if we just tell people where to find us?
I like that.
You can find us at Who Will Survive on iTunes, Stitcher, on the Legion Podcast Network, and on the Raw Live and Unedited Podcasting Network. Also on Facebook and Instagram under the same name.
Oh, wait. Can we do it underwater with piranhas killing me?
That would kind of be brutal.
And if that doesn't work, then you can do the regular promo.
All right. Well, just get in the water, and I'll go get some fish.
All right, cool.
This'll keep you quiet. Oh, hi there. I didn't see you. You caught me cutting a new show. I'm Bo Ransdell, and I'm one of the many creators you can find on Legion Podcasts. I said quiet! My fellow podcasters and I work hard to bring you the best in horror podcasting, but that comes at a cost. Wouldst thou like to live deliciously? Not that, but also yes. No, what I'm getting at is that there are server costs, costs for good microphones and software for editing, all the things that make our shows, fun to listen to. And you can help. If you're enjoying the shows on legionpodcasts.com or in the Legion Network available on iTunes and Stitcher, just about anywhere you can download a podcast, really, you can help us out and get a little something for your trouble at patreon.com/Legion Podcasts. For just $2 a month, you get a pair of movie commentaries exclusive to Patreon, and for $5, you can also join us for a monthly screening of a movie. All of that available on patreon.com/Legion Podcasts. We appreciate it, and thank you for listening. Now, back to the cutting room.